So, what we would like to attempt to speak to is the bridge from the experience of life, where that which determines life is outside of you, to that which determines life is me, as the beingness that gathers up the substance of creation to experience whatever the desire is. And in that process, because of the expansion of consciousness that has occurred, not only on this planet, but throughout creation, then it would be as if the earth, or it would be as if there was more earth magically almost than there was before. So there's more substance from which or with which life can be created or established. So to move from there's something outside of me, and it's called by many different names, that my appeal to with my desires must be recognized and approved of by this whatever is outside of me that I have appealed to.
So you're speaking of praying to a deity or a manifestation through a mantra or those types of things when you're saying outside of me. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
And then waiting or hoping for the manifestation of the desire that is brought forth by this something that is outside of me. And it could be anything that is outside of you that is perceived as having more power over your life than you do.
Okay.
All right? Many of what is called new thought, or on the edge of transformation, messengers, technologies, energetics, and those kinds of things, have developed a lot of language that is assisting the movement of consciousness from I am at the mercy of these things outside of me to I can change something inside of me that then allows me to have more control of what shows up in my life.
Okay. So that's when we're getting more into the physics, a lot of the stuff that is going on with physics. Is that what you're talking about?
It's what's going on with physics. It's what's going on with the beautiful messengers that say if you raise your vibration and you maintain it, if you focus really well on this, if you meditate really well on that. And those are all beautiful and necessary tools and technologies.
Yes.
In the building of this bridge.
Okay.
From I am completely at the mercy of all of this outside of me to I am the creator of my life, and then beyond that is as the presence of divine source in this reality. I bring life to this reality through my desires. Now, that is a very big bridge. We understand that. And so one has to start wherever one is. And so being immersed in everything outside of myself has pretty much control over how my life goes. And if I do well, then I get this. If I don't do well, I get this. And I just have to deal with it. Or I just have to learn to manipulate it. Or I just have to learn whatever it takes.
That's the duality that we have lived in for so long.
Yes.
Okay.
Where we have been separate in our consciousness from what many call our connection to the source, the creator, God, divine. How?
Right.
Okay?
Okay.
All right. So each person has to start where they are and reach just a little bit more, like be willing to investigate some other way of thinking that is just a little bit beyond your normal way of thinking about your life and how life works, and then practice that. And so that actually moves the consciousness and expands it a little bit, and then be willing to look for something a little bit beyond that, or bigger than that, or more conscious than that, or more of a reach toward a closer connection with what you call source or creator or God or the force of the universe, whatever you want to call it. Okay. It's called by many names. There's no judgment here about those names at all. It's all the same process for everyone on the planet, no matter what.
Okay.
So when one gets to this place where they are considering and practicing, and some are manifesting fairly well, that they have enough control of their mental faculties, of what happens with their thoughts and their emotions and the feelings in the body, that they're beginning to see some results in how the circumstances of their life sort of begin to shift, or they begin to show up differently, and it's more in alignment with whatever that person is reaching for, is desiring, is asking for.
Okay. So an example of that was, we had a friend the other day telling us about looking out their window and seeing their field that had not been farmed in a long time, going, well, that would really be nice if that was cleared and ready for farming, when they saw their neighbor doing that. And then the next day the neighbor started doing that person's field as well, and it didn't cost them anything or anything else. It was just a wow, and seeing the beauty, and it became that manifestation because of their clarity and what they'd been practicing.
And their desire. In the statement of, oh, I want mine to look like that.
Yes.
There's this whole lineup. It all lines up. The emotion, the desire, the visual,
okay,
and the allowing.
Okay.
All lines up.
Okay.
She didn't try to figure it out. She didn't instantly go into how. She just with great purity and alignment expressed a desire.
And everything moved to bring that desire into fruition.
Yes. So the biggest thing that humans run into is the mind instantaneously goes to how
Yes.
or how not.
Right, right, right.
How or how not. So one of the biggest and most difficult exercises for people is to first recognize when their mind goes to how or how not, and then to stop it,
Yes.
intercept it, like what you call football, intercept the ball so it stops in midair and you catch it, and then you have control of the ball. When you catch it, you'll see, and you can take it wherever you want to.
Okay.
At that point. And so you take your mind to what you want it to focus on. And it can be lots of things, like it could be, it's not my job to figure out how. It could be, I know it's all being taken care of, and so I'm just going to relax. It could be different kinds of mantras that people have been taught of. I'm turning this over to the Creator. I'm turning this over to my holiness. I'm surrendering this, and I'm just allowing it and letting it go. It's like I'm letting this bird fly out of my hand, and I know. Somehow I know. Somehow I want to know, and I'm willing to consider that by letting this bird, this football that turned into a bird in my hand, fly. Mm-hmm. And see what it brings back.
Okay.
So you wait with this sweet anticipation of this beautiful bird coming back. Okay. Somehow.
Okay.
Yes. That's the biggest thing that humans have to deal with, is their mind going to how and how not.
Yes. Okay.
And stopping it, intercepting it, and at first being willing to believe that this bird will fly and return in what is called in your Bible in greater measure than if you were to hang on to it and keep doing the how and how not.